Okay. Blessings. Welcome to Thursday Nights Live. Y'all see the title? I'm going to break this down into two videos. If you watch the commercial trail, I announced that. So I'm going to break this down into two videos. The first video is the title you see right now. And what I mean by that, because I know some people are not gonna want to click on this because they're gonna be like, what does she mean by that? What does she mean by that? I am gonna break this down. Story time. Because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell you a real story, but I'm gonna use it as an analogy and as an example, so that you guys can really visually see what I'm saying about these knocks. And once you get with them, now I got a positive side. It's another side. It's a brighter side of the light to this story, you know. Because sometimes you will never be this. Let's just say this: you just will never be the same. Now that's a good and a bad side to that. Okay, so it's one or the other after being with these creatures. Okay, because they are just nasty, and all they are here to do is kill, steal, and destroy. On top of the sexual perversion, which is the ultimate thing that they love to do. Okay. Don't nobody be want to go around and do all that nasty, satanic ass sex. It be like Satanism when you be thinking you're doing something normal. Next thing you know, they just like, oh, let's try something new, and it's just evil, like just unbridled. It's just like, you think fornication is a sin. It's like unbridled fornication, ultimate sin of God. Okay. So, let me shout out my boy. I want to shout out my boy, King Joe. Thank you. I know you're going to catch this one, but you've been watching the videos and you've been letting me know you're there. Blantonio. I think I got that. Blantonio. Shout out to you. Chile, my queen. What is it? NPD. On NPD. H. Vanessa. I just got so many people, and I just like Karen, and then Miss P, Miss Ash, all you guys. I just want to shout out you guys because I love you guys, and I'm just sending out the love. So, and Alicia, you just a breeze. Alicia Breeze, guys. These people you can all catch on YouTube. So let's go. Okay. Now I'm going to start this off with a true story. I remember back in the day, because I'm from Chicago, and I remember back in the day in the hood, it was this one guy, and I was younger, but he was so fine. He was so fine. His name was Desmond, and he was just fine, yo. Ooh. All day. And I knew I was younger. I think I was like in high school or whatever, but he was not. And everybody's like, there go Desmond. He's so fine, so fine. And every time we saw Desmond in the hood, he would always have some chick, and he had his own crib and everything. He would have some chick come over, be beautiful woman he would bring over, and just cool guy. And I remember one day, I don't know exactly what I said, but I just told him like, you fine, and I was like, and it was so funny because he could have been a pervert, but he wasn't. I like what he said to me. I was like, you fine. I wish you could be my boyfriend. And he was like, if I could be your boyfriend, what would you say? So I'm sitting up there looking like, duh. I didn't expect him to say that or whatever. And I was like, nothing. So he was like, okay, when you think of something, let me know. And then he just, whatever, went on his business because he knew, like, I was too young, and he been hearing all the girls in the block saying how fine he is. Okay, speeding up. Years later, we saw Desmond, and I think years later, I actually was in college by the time we saw Desmond again. And Desmond was not the same. Desmond was not as fine. Desmond was all skinny. His face was all messed up. And people on the block was like, he doing them rocks. He doing them rocks. And I knew what that was, but I'm like, no, not Desmond. And when I saw him, he walked up to me, and he was like, hey. I was like, hey, Desmond, how you doing? He was like, you remember what you said to me a couple of years ago? You still feel that way? And I'm looking like, no, but it's nice seeing you, whatever. I don't know what it was that he was doing or who he was with that got him to do that, but it broke Desmond down. Like, he was never the same. He didn't look the same. I don't know what happened to him after that, if he got out of it and got better, or if he just went down, down, down. My point of this story is, when you are with a narc, it's like that. It's like you are this beautiful person, got goals, got dreams. Your finances on point. You taking care of things. You got your own ish. You riding good. You got your degrees or whatever, and you just living good. And you're dating. And you dating nothing but tens, dimes, and professionals or whatever. And then you get with this knock. Date a crack rock. Date a crack rock. Okay, so you get with them. And all of a sudden, things start to change. You're not doing the same things. You're not hanging around the same people. You're cutting off family and friends. And all of a sudden, you're living the life that the narc is leading you in. And then you're going down, down, down. You're getting abused. You're losing everything. You're not, all your goals and dreams that you was working towards, they're all ceased. And now you're just living this lifestyle of the narc. Because they don't have no goals. They don't have no dreams. They don't plan for the brighter future. They plan for destruction. So now you're this person. You're not looking the same. You're not feeling the same. And you're going down, down, down. And when you're seeing people, they don't even recognize you, because maybe you was eating too much and you got big, or maybe you wasn't eating enough and you got little. Or maybe you were drinking to cope with the pain of the narc. Maybe it was drugs to cope with the pain of the narc. And it starts to just slowly deteriorate who you are. And you're like a shell of what you used to be. And you're with this narc. And people know that. People like, damn, he was, all until that person came around. People can figure that out. They know how you were when you was in a certain part of your life or with certain people, and then all of a sudden here comes this demon, and all of a sudden you're just not the same. You're just not the same at all. That's how it is when you're with a narc. You're no longer going to be the person that you were when you met them. Now, I did say I was going to get to a brighter side. So the brighter side is, you are a strong person. You found God, and you have the strength in you to try to get your life back. So you get away from the narc, which is a start over, which is okay. You can start over. And no, you're not going to be the person that you were before you got with the narc, because you wasted time, years, or whatever that got you to where you were. And now you're trying to get back on track. And you slowly but surely get back on track. And you found God, and you picking up the pieces. No, you're not going to be that doctor that you was going to school for when you was with the narc, but you still in the medical field some kind of way. And you slowly, you don't have your house, your car, your keys, your house, your car, and your friends and family. And all of a sudden, they slowly start to come back. Because you didn't got rid of that narc. You didn't got rid of that drug. You didn't got rid of that demon, that crack rock. Okay? And then you slowly get yourself back together, and everybody's happy you got back together. And you are a whole new you, because the person that you was with when you were with the narc died, dead, gone. The old you dead and gone, okay? So now you're reborn again. Now you're not the person that you were before you were with the narc, and you're not the person that you were when you were with the narc. You're a whole new person. You're reborn again. The good news is about that is that you can become this beautiful, beautiful light, this beautiful spirit, this reborn person from God. And now, people are now coming back and flip it and reverse it, coming back around, and you're flourishing and you're doing good, and you're healing. And a lot of people might come to you, and that's okay, because that's how it is. A lot of people might come to you like, oh, I'm proud of you. You're doing so much better. You wasn't the same. And, thank God that you're coming back around. We missed you, or whatever. And that's fine. People just going to come to you and be like, what happened? Like, where did you go? What happened? And maybe you'll tell them, like, I got on the dark side, but now I'm back in the light. That's how it is when you are with a narc. They are like being on bad drugs, y'all. they're like being on bad drugs or an alcoholic or something that's just not good for you. And you just totally lose yourself. And then some of us pick up the pieces, carry our cross, get over the threshold. And you know we got to do to pick up the pieces. But not everybody is that strong. You're fighting demons on the other side and you're fighting a human being. So maybe these people had demons of their own. Now they're fighting the demon of the narc, and then they're fighting the person that's the narc. So that's a hard fight. And if they're down to the bottom and they just can't pick up the pieces because they ran out of strength. Oh, these commercials. And they ran out of strength. You know, only God can help them. Only God can help them. Because imagine, I know some of you guys can relate to this. Imagine somebody that you really care about that's on drugs and you kept trying to help them, and then they come in your house, they're stealing, you try to get them a place to sleep, they're stealing, and they're not trying to get help, and they're lying, saying they're not doing it anymore, and they're going to get better, or they'll get better for a while, then they go right back to the drug. Same thing with the narc. You go back. You back where you are. Go back. You back where you are. Go back. Nobody has time for that because we only have one life to live. Now, how you want to live it? I just can't stand that people feel like they have to live their life for a person. What about God, y'all? What about God? You gonna live your life to try to make a miserable, clown ass, fake ass human being, because they ain't human. They demons. A demon is just hosted in a human body. Okay? I can't believe that there's people out here that's literally living their life for a demon. When the Most High, Yahweh God, Jesus, the blood of Jesus is the way to go. It's the most happiness that you can ever encounter. And you're going to stay in the dark side with this pig, this clown, this slime, this worthless ass piece of ish. They ain't nothing. They ain't nothing. And when you wake up and your eyes are wide open because you're going through your journey with this awakening stage, you're looking like, how could I just let a clown ass, ugly ass, clown ass, pulled out clown ass, stupid clown ass, stuck clown ass, get up in my life like that. Get in my life like that. But God don't let things happen for nothing. Things happen for a reason. That was the walk you had to go through, flip it and reverse it, through to get back to God. Now you walk in the right path. That was my example. I mean, I know a lot of content creators use drugs, but they said it different. And then today I just really thought about it. Yeah. Being with a narc is like being on some serious ass waka flocka with ecstasy, snorting a line of coke from here to Texas, a few doobies, a fifth of Hennessy. Don't forget some Southern Comfort because you're trying to comfort yourself with some fentanyl patches, and then you might smoke a square. Okay. That's the things that you're going to need if you want to be with a narc. You might as well go ahead and get it ready. You want to go live on the streets, live in a sewer, living in a car, struggling with them, because all you're going to do is struggle with them. And even if it was a narc that had money, because some of them are too powerful to be on the street. But, I'm almost slipped into another video. Now I remember the video that I was going to do. Now I remember the video I was going to do about that narc. And I think I'm going to do it after this one and skip the next one. And so I guess I'm going to do 3 videos. But I'm going to tell you something, and then we're going to talk about it on the next video. You narcs cannot escape your DNA. You cannot escape your DNA. When I look at, I'm gonna tell you this. When I look in the mirror, I see my mother and my father. Although my both sides are biracial, but a lot on my dad's side. And people are like, but you look like your dad, but you look like your dad. I still see my mother, right? And then I would go around my kids or my brothers and sisters, they'd be like, you act just like Ma. You know, or you just act like, so you get your parents' features, you get your parents' traits, you get your parents' DNA, you pick up habits or whatever from your parents. Now let's stick to the DNA. So if you're one of those narcs that you know your parent is cray as hell, and they're in this particular stage in their life where they gone, they don't even know where they at. They sit there and they just, you know, they need nursing care or whatever. They cannot take care of themselves. They cannot even go to the bathroom on their own. They're spaced out. They're gone. That's your DNA, narc. You are going to be one day that parent. Whether it's your mother or your father, you one day going to be that parent. And then the child going to one day be you and that parent. Y'all carry on that cycle of that nasty ass curse. Let me end it. Let's get on that. We're going to get on narc DNA. They can't escape it. Just like they ain't going to escape Satan and God's wrath. Now, with that being said, boom! I knocked this one out the park. Y'all did. I knocked this one out the park because I didn't have to look at the notes on this one. Went through it, and then I remembered something that I had to talk about. So the one that I was supposed to do on the second video was never try to prove your worth. We're going to make that the third video. We're about to talk about this knocking a DNA. You going to be your mama, boo. You going to be your daddy, boo. I don't care about mine being my mama or my daddy. That's why I cook, because they both did. I took on some of them traits. Okay, some of them traits be good, but what if there are no good traits in that bloodline? You're gonna pass it on to your seed, and God forbid if that thing have a seed, and somebody gotta break that generational curse. About to be the great grandchild. Woo! Because they train their children to be narcs. With that being said, be blessed.